Greetings. Greetings, everybody. Greetings. Greetings, everybody. We have a song here dedicated to Mr. Sniffles that I'd like to play for you. The man that's a mucus bag can't stop sniffling. Mucus is running out of him like a dam. What can I say? My goodness, where did I put that? Okay, here we go. Sorry. That's the way it goes when you really wanna sneeze. Don't be shy, don't be shy. When you really wanna sneeze. Wipe your nose, wipe your nose. When you really wanna sneeze. When you're sniffing all the flowers and you're playing in the sun and you really wanna sneeze. You can cover up your mouth and wash your hands when you're done. When you really wanna sneeze. Don't be shy, don't be shy. When you really wanna sneeze. Wipe your nose, wipe your nose. When you really wanna sneeze. If you're allergic or you're sick, or you're tickled by a feather and you really wanna sneeze. Don't worry too much, it could just be the weather when you really wanna sneeze. Don't be shy, don't be shy. When you really wanna sneeze. Wipe your nose, wipe your nose. When you really wanna sneeze. When you feel like something's tingling in your nose and you really wanna sneeze. Don't hold it back, that's the way it goes when you really wanna sneeze. Don't be shy, don't be shy. When you really wanna sneeze. Sniff, sniff. Wipe your nose, wipe your nose. When you really wanna sneeze. When you're sniffing all the flowers and you're playing in the sun and you really wanna sneeze. You can cover up your mouth and wash your hands when you're done. When you really wanna sneeze. Don't be shy, don't be shy. When you really wanna sneeze. Wipe your nose, wipe your nose. When you really wanna sneeze. If you're allergic or you're sick or you're tickled by a feather and you really wanna sneeze. Don't worry too much, it could just be the weather when you really wanna sneeze. Don't be shy, don't be shy. When you really wanna sneeze. Wipe your nose, wipe your nose. When you really wanna sneeze. Anyway, we know who that song's dedicated to. The sniffling, bearded, hairy, short guy. Sweaty. Anyway, today's discussion is going to be about white privilege. Why do certain people, white people especially, but they can be, you call it North American privilege. American privilege. You have a certain fellow in Bangkok who is definitely freaking out about this horrible illness that's going about. I don't want to be careful what words I use for it. We call it the flu, for want of a better word. But now, if you are a tax-paying citizen of Thailand, meaning that you pay your yearly income tax to the government, you file your income tax with the American government, with the Thailand government, I'm sorry, then you might consider yourself deserving of certain services. If you've lived there for 25 years and have never filed taxes in Thailand, as Mr. Sniffles does, because we're not going to call him Beach Ball anymore, we're going to call him Mr. Sniff. Mr. Sniff Sniff. Now, we can easily afford, and if he can't afford it, then he'll have to just take his chances. His wife is Thai, his children are Thai. They are deserving of a vaccination. He is not now, nor ever will be, a Thai. He will never be a citizen. Although after 25 years, why he hasn't tried to get a citizenship, eludes me. But I don't claim to know all the ins and outs. But he sits there in his house, worrying and worrying about dying. I suggest, Mr. Smith, that you get on an airplane, fly to a neighboring country if you have to, pay for your vaccination, and fly back. Oh, lordy, that means you might have to wait 2 weeks at an AS2 hotel. Oh well, that's tough. That sucks. Sucks for you. But everybody else who isn't a Thai citizen has to do it, so why shouldn't you? You seem to think it's the Thailand government's problem that you've got a shortage of money. But it's not their problem. They don't care about their own people who don't have any money or who are starving, much less care about Mr. Sniff if he has any cash. Greetings and salutations to Mr. Loudmouth Malin. I'm just about to play some of your footage, if that's okay with you, and we're going to have a discussion. And hopefully, I'm going to start working at this a little harder, I guess, Guy, but hopefully we can start getting some more viewers in here. But anyway, you're not going to die, Mr. Sniff Sniff. The rate of death from this darn virus is very low. Although you are getting up there in age, aren't you? Your health, high blood pressure, the nose that just won't stop for some reason. Seems that you've taken steroids that have your factory going, your olfactory system is going, making mucus like it's unbelievable. So, sniff, sniff, as they say. But you don't deserve the vaccination. Not until every Thai citizen from north to south, east to west in Thailand, in the mountains of Thailand, in the small villages of Thailand, bordering Cambodia, wearing Laos. These people deserve it, not you. You get it whenever. Or man up and go and pay for a vaccination. Now, my friend here has got an interesting video that he put up. And we're going to just listen to a few minutes of it and make comments as we go.
Vaccination timetables, and you'll note that they don't say anything about forms. Now, I don't know if that's a mistake or what the deal is, but here we go right here. But they have said, oh, don't worry, we're going to vaccinate the foreigners and it'll be for free. They just haven't said when. My biggest concern, honestly, is I'm going to be sitting here waiting for a freaking vaccine. Everybody in my house is going to have them, except me. Somebody's going to come back. I'm going to get the vaccine, or get the virus, and get sick as hell, or die.
Ooh, he's going to get sick as hell or die. Just a message to Mr. LMM. How is the audio, my friend? Have I got things set up right? This takes some practice. And yes, if you're using me in your videos, Mr. LMM, I have no complaints. I would prefer you block out any shots that have me holding, when I'm holding a handgun at the revolver club. Because I certainly don't plan on using any weapons on anybody else. But back to his comments. His wife and kids are going to get the vaccination. And what about me? What about me? Screw you. Maybe we'll be lucky. Maybe the world will be done a favor. Maybe you'll get the virus and die. Considering what you wish on other people. I don't expect this too much for me to say to you, sir. But if you got the virus and die from it, that's just terrible. Oh my goodness, I'll be so upset I won't sleep for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. But let's continue, shall we?
Because I can't get a vaccine here. Think I'm fucking worried about dying? I don't want to die. You know, like, if I die, I die. What are you gonna do? I don't want to die. Think I'm fucking worried about dying? I don't want to die. You know, like, if I die, I die. What are you gonna do? Get me the vaccine. Get me the vaccine, I'll feel a little bit better. Listen, I go on now, so they can check me. You're positive. I'm going to the hospital. I don't have a fucking choice. But I don't want to die. I mean, I want to live. But you gotta get the vaccine here.
Can't say as I agree with you,
Not done yet.
Mr. Sniffle.
I'm going to central planner, Stanley. I know you always have these conspiracy theories. I don't think that even the smartest person could plan this out so well. I really don't. People are not that fucking intelligent. $1 million. I'm gonna take over the world. What are you calling clowns?
You're a
So I'll
clown.
be very careful about what I say. So we got you over the coals, that's what I'm saying. And I'm asking you a question. Who are you calling clowns? You calling everybody in the street a clown? We gotta get rid of this jackass.
Too bad this Google seems to make sense.
You wanna make comments like that and then you wanna fucking never respond, then you don't belong in here.
I don't see you or any of your idiots.
Listen, I mean, one time shouldn't say we're all clowns. I think it came from the lab.
I don't see you or your other panelists having completed any courses that would qualify you to talk about epidemiology, qualify you to talk really about anything. As the simple trade you had was printing on an old printing press before you left. But anyway, let's continue with your rant, with your complaining, with your crying.
Originally, it originated from nature, but my lab took it and did something with it. Treating plants who have plants, sorry. Really? Well, tell me how you would plan that all out. How would you plan it out if you were going to do it? Just I'm going to release a virus and it's going to kill all kinds of people and it'll shut down the world. It is here still. Maybe there's, what is it in China now, 120 or something?
When you're boxing, Mr. Sniff, I suggest you don't lead with your nose. Could that be the reason why it's always running? Bent up worse than the bumper of a car after a car wreck? I don't know.
Where's Thailand? Thailand is 109, 103. 180 deaths in Thailand now. Wow, I know it jumped up that much. No word of excessive deaths been seen. Really? So,
God, that's annoying.
216,000 deaths in Mexico, 400,000 in Brazil, 109,000 in Russia.
Okay, this is boring the hell out of me.
So, I mean, why, we're trying to get a rise, no, not me, you are trying to get a rise out of it. And I don't know you, so why would you do that? You're just being a prick.
Because then I was supposed to be my friend, Mr. LMM, coming on your stream.
Fucking idiot.
Wasn't me. I don't talk to you. Oh, he's checking my channel right now. Which one is he checking? Oh, he wants to see if I'm broadcasting, I imagine.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's what I thought. You do
Yeah,
think.
so that's where we stand. Where we stand right now is basically on the verge of full lockdown, but not completely lockdown. I guess we have enough freedom left to be able to walk around. As long as you have a mask on, we can go into the malls, but we can't sit out at a restaurant. You can buy alcohol at the right time, but you cannot buy alcohol in restaurants.
You've already proven you don't wear masks very much, do you?
I'm not filthy.
Yes, you are filthy.
Farmer's okay, as he is only a dumbass and nothing can change that. Fuck you guys.
Fuck me.
Fucking rap god. Oh, Jesus Christ. You see,
He
this
hates
is what I
rap?
mean.
God? He hates God?
Yeah, I'm irritated right now.
I love
I'm
God.
irritated by this whole situation. You know, I really am, and I don't want to be.
So there we go, folks. That's his take on the virus. Now, if I was in that position and I was in a foreign country, whether I went through what I had to do to live there year-round or not, I would take it as my responsibility to get a vaccination. Not one vaccination goes to a Farang, a Falang, before all the Thai people are vaccinated. All. Mr. Sniff. That's all the Thai people. Come on in, type a message. I see we got a few watching. Are you on there, Mr. Sniff? Are you listening in? Like, unlike you, you're not blocked here. You have voice. You can speak. I could even post a link and you could come on, if you like. If you're not too cowardly to. See, I believe in freedom of speech. Like yourself. So maybe we'll take a brief musical interlude, although we have there's another video or two that I would like to. Oh, we see something new here. Let me see.
I'm gonna take a little walk down the street here. Maybe go down to Declan, grab some hot soap, Tom more, and then go to Declan. just to see what's going on. And, if you look around, uh, if you look around, this place is dead compared to how long it is. I mean, completely dead.
No change for the people that are sleeping rough, eh?
Look out.
It's looking good. It's looking good. I see that some people that are sleeping rough on the streets are asking for help. And you'll do nothing to help them, will you? You cheap prick.
Last night, 9 o'clock at night, I leave here. Nobody was here. It's like very bad, very bad.
It's odd how we can walk by people that are sleeping rough, sleeping on the sidewalks, no food, no prospects, and only concern himself about himself. I'm not saying you have to hand all your money out to everybody, but you could give somebody, 20 baht here, 20 baht there. Pick up 6 coffees at a coffee shop and walk along and offer these poor people a coffee. Say, so what you got? How are you? Would you like a coffee? I know it's hard for you, living the way you're living right now, but at least I can offer you a coffee. Or a jug of water, a bottle of water. Why not make a dozen sandwiches at home before you go out on these walks? And give each person a slice of bread with some jelly on it. Or some lunch meat. I only think about yourself all the time. Anyway, let's see what else my brilliant friend has produced. Chicks have been getting away from you forever.
This whole corner was vibrant a couple of years ago, and they had just destroyed it.
To my buddy there, isn't it odd that he checked to see what was going on in my channel? And your last video that you put up?
It's 27 right now. You got this,
Oh boy, here we go. Yes, now, poor man can't walk. And he wants his pants, I guess it is, off the ground.
Okay. Guess you can't get up, I don't know. I don't know what to believe.
Oh, he's gonna fake he can't get up. Yeah, why are you, that's just good.
This is so sad, dude. This is,
Good point. Why can't that man ask you for money? Put his hand out. Go. Can you PayPal me for a coffee? Can you buy me lunch? You do. You do it steady. You're always looking for money. You've been living on the money of everybody. So in this video I'm going to put on my psychiatrist hat. And we're going to discuss a one-on-one discussion between me and Mr. Smith and see if we can analyze what has made you into such an animal.
Life right now. We've lost a few years. You know? It's like you're in outer space and you come back and it's 2 years later. Like Rip Van Winkle right now. Closed.
Yes, it's closed, idiot.
The Black Plague.
It's a lockdown.
Or the Salem witch trials. Or something like that. Really. For 100 years, people are going to look back and go, what the hell is going on then?
You won't be here.
There was some paper thing over their mouth. Like nose.
It's called a diaper.
And then they were supposed to do 2 of them. And 3 of them. No one from Tom.
Talking about Tom O'Connell. Well, he's probably done with you, too.
Now, he hasn't even read the messages. Yeah, today I sent a message. So far, no response. So,
I'm not the first person who's taken advantage of. There's beyond friendly, there's, guys. Thank you for the honorable mention. I wish I could remember the handles of the rest of them that have left him.
Walking on the city streets much better. Well, here we go. I hate to burst anybody's bubble, but first of all, what they'll say, I'm in better shape than the vast majority of people my age.
No, you're not.
Tell them a lot more than most people know.
We don't care.
You can't even respond now. If you respond, you're triggered. If you answer and you say you're full of shit to somebody, you're triggered. And you're triggered. This is until when I was about 37 years old. Alright, well, listen. I would dare say that it's more than the majority of people in here. Combined, well, hey, that's a bold statement that I understand. But, and I'm not proud of it. To be honest, I'm not proud of it.
Yes, we all know about your mongering.
And they act like 100 women is a lot. And I'm like, really?
You
I haven't
guys,
seen any money yet, Ronald. When I see the money, maybe I'll consider it.
once again, he can't even accept advice without demanding money to do it. Very good video, my friend. I'm proud of you. I hope your channel grows and grows. I hope the people speak up about this atrocity of a man. Let's just finish it here, and then we'll get on to other things.
You have the place, you throw out the money. When I see the money, I'll consider it.
I'll give you $50 if you jump off the 10th floor of a high-rise building. Oh, lovely. Hacking on roads. Nice. Classy.
Make sure you're safe.
Also illegal
Trouble with the law.
in Bangkok.
You know, if you're here or wherever you are, don't get in trouble with the law simply because you don't want to wear your mask and you decide you want to stay somewhere. You know, it's not worth the hassle. I understand you decided not to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. But I don't want to sit in jail cell either with a mask on. They force you to have it on. So, here's the PayPal, the Patreon, the Amazon, the Cash App, the Apple Money, all that good stuff. If you'd be so kind to do that, thank you very much. And I'll be honest, it is what motivates me sometimes. I don't get motivated to go out.
Really, money for this is what motivates you. Yes, it is. It's his only motivation.
I need to motivate myself to go out in the hot sun and to go online because
Mr. Loudmouth Bellin, isn't that illegal, especially with the health condition? Yes, sir, it is. There is a bylaw in Bangkok, as there is in most cities, that you should not spat your disgusting juices about for other people to step on, carry on their shoes, especially during a pandemic. But when you're a mucus blister, like he is, what can I say? I mean, he's producing it faster than anything else. They complain about Chinese people. The older mainland Chinese tend to come into Thailand, and they have a horrific habit of spitting. Now here we have the Crusader, the white Bangkok Crusader, doing the same thing, spitting on the roads, spitting on the sidewalks. They're a piece of shit, Malin. That's all I can say. Now I think it's time for us to change gears here. Instead of being so hard on the little fella, the little sniffing character that he is, we're going to try to help him. After all, that's what our channel is about, isn't it? To try to help somebody. So, I would like to introduce a friend of mine who knows a lot about psychiatry and knows your case very well, Mr. Beachball, to talk to you for a few minutes. Thank you for having me on the channel. Now it seems, from what I know of the case study, I don't understand Mr. Sniffles, Mr. Malin, whatever your name is. I don't understand why your mother, who had you out of wedlock, who stuck by you, cared for you, kept you warm, kept you fed, and brought you into a new family. And all you did was create problems for her and her new husband. Are you angry at the world? In many case studies, it's true that people that are born such as you can get this way. And now the poor lady is in her 70s. In the last 25 years, she's seen her grandchildren twice, I believe. And you haven't done nothing for your mother. Nothing. Not one Christmas together. Not one birthday together. You chose to escape to Asia to start a new life. Really, it's just a sign of being a narcissist. Anyway, you want to talk again? Yes. Okay.
Don't offer him a bottle of water on the street if you're a vendor. From SN Propagation Expose. Yes, I know. There's a guy named Tom who took a lot of flack for giving this poor Thai lady a hard time because she's had a box of bags of chips, and she was selling them for maybe $5 more than they were selling for at the store. And he just beat her down. Now, if I walk by a vendor who's been standing on the street probably all day without making a sale, I'd say, sure, give me a bottle of water. I'd buy it. I'd carry it. Maybe I'd give it to somebody who's sleeping rough on the street. Why do you say that, Mr. SM Proposition Expose? Are you reiterating the lady in Phuket when he rudely told her to go fuck herself? I would think that's probably what you're alluding to. We will continue to try to expose this asshole. But she said she gave him crap. Well, he was probably rude to her, as he is with everybody. It must suck to live like he does. where all you ever do is you just push people away. You got a hurtful personality. Maybe you should think about joining the Pattaya High Divers Club. I think you mentioned you like diving. Get up to the top floor of a condo. Contemplate your life. I'm sure an answer will come to you. At any rate, I'm getting a little tired, and I think we're going to end this broadcast. We'll have another one in a few days. I have to give Loudmouth Malin props for another good video. Mr. Loudmouth Malin, how can you be offended by a granny water vendor? This prick can be offended by anybody because he's an offensive prick. He cares not about anybody else or the Thai people. And I still say, before 2025, he will be wifeless, homeless, and countryless. He will have to go to the American Embassy and beg for an emergency flight home. Loudmouth Malin, next time give more of your personal stories. Yes, I can do that. I will jot down a few things. And I think my next broadcast will be, this is Monday, so my next broadcast will be Wednesday. Same time, same place. I'll tell you some stories about, some more stories about us and things that I know about him. You could ask him in one of your videos why he never buys anything. The book stand that's directly behind his desk, he got from Tom O'Connell for free. Tom was just going to throw it out. It's just a plastic thing. Just tables that sit on each other. It's not a book case. I think his biggest purchase since being in Thailand is probably a television. He's never owned a vehicle, never owned a motorbike. I'm not telling. Tom's not communicating with him anymore, apparently. Well, that's true. They had a falling out, oh God, maybe about a year ago. An argument over visas, if I can remember correctly. And Tom just said, fuck off, I don't want to have you in my life anymore. I don't want to even talk to you. But somehow Tom forgave him. And now Tom has got him on the back burner again. I can't see anybody wanting to spend any amount of time with him. Even poor Billy, poor Mr. Longhorns. An Army veteran who's seen action. The guy you should look up to. But due to probably PTSD, he chooses to befriend an animal like Malin. But at my age, I can tell you this much. I know how life goes. When you sow seeds on barren ground, on rocky, gravelly ground, the seeds don't take and they bear no fruit. And this is what Malin has done his whole life, is he's sowed a seed on rocky ground, always begging for money. I'm sure his sister, who's actually a half-sister, it's not a sister, it's a half-sister. I'm sure his sister will make sure that when the parents do pass away, and I hope they live a long, long life, long and fruitful life, but I think she will make sure that with all the money that her mother has handed this mom over the last 25 years, that is deducted from any amount of money he would get in a will. Loudmouth Malin, he still gets money from Mum. Well, I'm not there to see it, but I know he does. He has, literally from the beginning, you see, he was getting around $1,000 a month from her. And then when she had to pay for the boys' tuition, she dropped it down and she told him that I'm not going to be able to give you anything anymore. He had a hissy fit, and she sent him a few $100s a month for about a year or so. But now it seems that he's getting more money from Mummy now, again. You see him now, he's not riding the clown boats. He's back that he's sitting his sweaty ass in a taxi again and stuffing his fat face with food all the time. But I would bet my life on it that he's still getting money from Mummy. And he could say, for all he wants to, that it's from an investment back in Florida. But how can that be? When he left Florida to go to California to live the high life, and I do mean high, and then he came back from Florida and decided that he was going to run away to the Philippines and then to Thailand. But yes, the amount I don't know, but yes, he's still getting money from Mum. She just takes it as what does he contribute to his current household? I don't know. I'm not there to see. I imagine he buys some groceries, maybe pays some rent. But I don't think that, a man who's never worked, how much money has he got to contribute? Really? He's never contributed much to anybody in his life. He's been a taker, not a giver. And And that's why I say Bo has already got it in her mind that at a certain point, once those boys are a little bit older and they're men, they've got girlfriends, they're living on their own. That's when she is gonna break up with this loser. She's only 43 or 44 years old, maybe 45. She could very easily, and she's not a bad looking woman, she could very easily meet another man. Although imagine the scarring that woman has been put through, the mental scars. I don't think she'll ever want to have another man in her life. She'll be happy to just head back south, live in the village, build a new house, and live a quiet life. And maybe the boys might come and visit her. Have you ever seen a woman that will continue to support a man who's never worked? Thai women are very good. Not that I have a lot of experience with them because I don't. But Thai women are very good. They're very family oriented. So she's a tough lady. She's hung in there. As soon as she knows her boys are okay, then it's her time. And if I have some way, if I'm still alive and I have some way, I would send her $1,000 American if she left him to help her get restarted in life. She seems okay when she comes on to eat instant noodles. Yeah. They call those pot noodles in Britain. They have a whole cupboard full of them. Those boys live on pot noodles. But she has a very good job, so she has to have a lot of smarts. Scotty might come after you if he gets the boat. I'm counting on it. Come after me. Come after me. See how I deal with people like you. You won't enjoy it. But you won't come here. You won't be able to afford to do anything but beg the American Embassy to pay for a flight back to the United States for you. And maybe you'll be like the movie, an old 1970s movie, The Lawnmower Man. Check that out. SM propagation expose. He'll be the lawnmower man back in the United States if he gets back. Maybe he'll buy a power mower and go around cutting people's grass. Or maybe not. He has no, I'm not sure how it works in the United States. I know in Canada, to get a pension from the government, everybody gets a pension from the government. that to get a decent Canada pension, you have to pay into it. You have to pay into a Canada pension plan. Off each paycheck I got for 35 years, a certain amount of CPP, Canada Pension Plan benefits, was taken off. That's why when I turn 65, I will get approximately $1,500 a month CPP. And that mixed with my private pension will still keep me in an income of close to $4,000 a month, which is certainly enough for an old single guy like me. I do have a lady that comes and visits me once in a while, like any other man would want, but loudmouth Mallory, not back in the print shop. I doubt it. Is there any print shops anymore? Everything is done by computer nowadays. You don't even see flyers come in the mail anymore from grocery stores and sales at grocery stores. What is there to print? And is it a trade that not a billion people have already done and know how to do? At least I was a mechanical engineer. And I still have my certificates here and everything. Not that I'd ever go back to it, but I had a qualification. I had a trade. How close was the Twitchy Scotty boxing match coming to happen? Going to happen, I guess what you were saying, trying to say. Not sure. I never got close. Twitchy was more than willing to meet up with him. I know that. But Scotty cried to me on the phone many times. He complained and said he was afraid that Twitchy might break his hip or something like that. So I don't, there was no boxing match ever going to happen. And although his fists are pretty good, or were good at one time, short little guy like him against a 6'4" tall bruiser like Twitchy, I don't know. Twitchy would have to be stupid not to to let him in close where he could even use those little stubby arms of his. Greg Bender wanted to do a charity buddy boxing benefit. Yes, he did. And Beach Ball said, screw that. If there's any money to be made from this, I want my half. He would not donate a cent to charity. Even back in the days of the Backley Foundation, some people called it a scam. Greg tends to think it was a scam. But I did see the videos of the children, and I chose to give to the Bethany Foundation because Worst case scenario, only 50% of your donation got to the children. It sure is a lot better than nothing getting to the children. And I continued it for a little over a year. Then I tried finding them on Facebook. I tried finding them on YouTube, and it seems that they disappeared. So I hope they're doing okay. Another question: Scott wouldn't share the cash. No, he wouldn't. He said very plainly. And I have an announcement, by the way, my friend. I found an old laptop, but it's the one I've been looking for. It's an old Hewlett-Packard, and I believe it's the one I used during the heyday of me being a moderator for Scott. So I'm going to fire that up maybe tomorrow and see what I can download out of that. Because I did have a video editing software, or I did. I don't remember if I had the video editing software or not back then. Because if I had the video editing software, I could do a screen recording and record any video I wanted to. But I also had what was called the YouTube downloader, where I could download videos onto my computer. So I might just have all of that on that computer. And that reminds me, I've been falling behind in my work a little bit. I had to get a new router installed in my house. My router was so old that it just wasn't giving me the bandwidth to do what I need to do here. And I'll turn on my camera for a sec. Okay, so I thought I turned it off. Okay, start down. There we go. There we go. Anyway, I'm going to take a look and see what's on that computer, and see if there's anything interesting on there. As I was saying, I've got 3 video bullet cameras, outdoor cameras here, that I have to reprogram to a new IP address and install them outside. Tell us about your gun hobby. Well, the only thing I'll tell on YouTube, I didn't share a damn thing about my yachting trips on YouTube. You share stuff like that, all you do is you set yourself up for ridicule, trolls, whatever. All I can say about my gun hobby is that I've shot competition weapons, mostly handguns, since I was 20 years old. What I own, where I do it, I will never release that information to the public. Well, thank you. My sons, both my sons are shooters as well. So
they will inherit any weapons that there are after my passing, and hopefully continue on the sport. Anyway, I'm getting very, very tired. Really don't know what more to say. So I'm going to say goodnight for now. We'll see you Wednesday night, same time, same place. And good night, Scotty. Good night, Scotty. Because I know you'll view this. I should target shoot at some beach balls one day. I've already thought about that, but it sends a bad message. One that I won't do. Owning handguns and long guns is a very important thing to me, and you don't go out and use them to pretend or say, well, I know I'm going to shoot this beach ball because I call a certain idiot beach ball. It would be abusing the weapon, would be using years of practice and knowledge, and I wouldn't do it. Anyway, to Loudmouth Falang and Scott SM Propagation Expose, thank you for joining. I really haven't looked to see. Oh, I've got 6 watching now, so I've got a few lurkers on here. Geez, I wish you'd say hello before I go. I'll stay on for one more cigarette and see if anybody says hello. If you're watching this, Mr. Sniff Sniff, say hi. We haven't talked for, God, must be almost 3 years now. I miss your bullshit. Yeah, it's probably one or all 3. I have no war with SDC or with the lady. You know, Lori has changed from what I viewed her as, but I got no problems with her. My problems are with you-know-who. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes for those that are lurking to type a message in the chat. Say hello. And if you don't, well, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that. I have a little song to play for Mr. Beach Ball.
When you feel like something's tickling in your nose and you really wanna sneeze, don't hold it back, that's the way it goes. When you really wanna sneeze, don't be shy, don't be shy. When you really wanna sneeze, wipe your nose, wipe your nose. When you really wanna sneeze. When you're sniffing all the flowers and you're playing in the sun and you really wanna sneeze.
Sniff, sniff.
Cover up your mouth, wash your hands when you're done. When you really wanna sneeze.
Sniff, sniff.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
When you really wanna sneeze.
Wanna sneeze.
Wipe your nose. Wipe your nose. When you
Really wanna sneeze.
if you're allergic or you're sick or you're taking diet fat or anything.
just be the weather when you really, really, really want to sneeze. Don't be shy, don't be shy. When you really, really, really want to sneeze.
Yes, they did.
Like your nose. When you really, really, really
But that's
want
on
to
them.
sneeze.
That's not on me. If they agree with that sort of crap, well, that's on their soul, not on mine. I still think they should help him to get to, oh, I don't know, one of the higher floors of a condo in Pattaya and join the high diving club. I'd hate to be the man that'll clean up that mess. Anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching. I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching. I'm surprised I couldn't quite see the number there, and I see 6. We've got a few people watching. I'm sorry I'm not more eloquent, but maybe I'll become so as I practice with this. But since I have no intentions on ever trying to monetize a channel or anything else, I only have one reason for doing this. Is to just have a voice. A smart man named Capio is a live streamer. And he says everybody deserves a voice. That anybody can download StreamYards, click, start broadcast, and have their speech, have their free speech. I don't know, Mr. Loudmouth, whether Soy Dog was nodding in agreement or whether he was shaking his head in disgust. Richard is a piece of crap, but, I don't think he's that low. Then again, who knows? Birds of a feather flock together. Well, thank you. I don't know how good or sound or smooth I sound, but I'm learning to speak a little better. So I do appreciate it. And I want to say a heartfelt thank you to the 6 people that are watching this live stream. Bigger audience than I ever expected. I know the channel is a kind of a rough one. It's got I don't blame you for not wanting to post a comment, but I can feel the beach ball is out there and watching this. I can feel your blood pressure rising and rising and rising. Anyway, God bless. Everybody have a good night. It's 9:30 a.m. in our beach ball. Just about time for you to get out and do something. Don't you think? Maybe have some pot noodles for breakfast. Oh, you're such a sad little man. I don't like to call you a man. You're not a man, but you have the equipment of that man, from what I hear anyway. You're a disgusting piece of crap.
But if you ever care to come and visit me, please do. I would love to meet you face to face. If I was to fly to Thailand, I wouldn't meet you. I would go there with better things in mind than seeing the worst person in Thailand. To me, Gary Glitter would be a more better person to meet than you, Beach Ball. Prove to me you're a man. Come and meet me someday. Anyway, good night, folks. Thank you so much for joining. I'm very, very happy that you're here. God bless you, and good night.